We're finishing this show though, right? Is this going to be the last episode? I hope. Are we going to do a different movie?
We gotta give him a little bit more time. Like he's
Like 26 weeks more of time?
he's cratering, man. I don't even know what else to say. Like, Jesus Christ, look at him.
Everything's fine.
You got it. It's good. It's good.
Figure things out.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
How you doing?
Hello, everybody!
Chris, how's your time?
It is week 24 on the Face Off Challenge. I am Chris. I'm joined by Sean.
Is everything okay? Like,
No one can understand. I can't understand.
How is your?
What was that?
Can you just?
Tongue.
Ew.
Hurts to talk.
Show it to us again.
It's my tongue.
Oh, good God.
That's really gross, Chris. You shouldn't keep severed tongues in your mouth.
I know you had it in water, but there's no way that's just good. There's no way that's good to you.
Gentlemen, I think we should just get on with the episode. This is week 24 of our 52-week review on Face Off 1997.
The following may contain harsh language, poorly communicated ideas, and does not reflect the opinions of iHeartRadio.
Joined today by two lovely gentlemen by the names of Sean and Tyler, and this week we are looking at Action Off. That was the best title we could come up with, and I invite you to join us as we review the action sequences of Face Off. Which one's the best? We're about to find out.
I just am having so much trouble getting past your tongue.
What?
Yeah.
You may have to just rock the tongue in all episode, I think.
No, I can't do that, guy. The tongue's dying.
That tongue's not dying, it's dead.
It's gone. It looks like something you should not keep anywhere near your body.
Okay, let's get into it. Who's got the first scene?
The first scene is for Tyler. Tyler, now you have the action sequence that pretty much opens this entire movie. That's the airplane sequence. We're going to be then focusing on...
before we go, just, Chris.
Okay, I can't.
We're
done with that then.
Do not show that again. Do not show it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
He's going to flush it. I thought he might want a week off to heal. But no, we're back for another week.
I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing people did. I
don't think it is. It's a thing one person
did. I'm okay now, though. I figured it all out.
His tongue is perfectly fine again, finally, thankfully.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Face Off, and thank you, Johnny Depp. Ooh, we hot up in here.
Why don't we start by
we're talking about the action sequences. There's a lot of action This is a good... I don't care who you are. If you like an action movie, can you possibly go wrong with Face Off?
We're here, Chris. You can stop. We're here. All right, Tyler, keep going with your action scene.
Wow. Thank you for that, Sean.
I'm glad that I picked this one. It's almost a shame to start off with it because, like the film itself, it's all downhill from here after this.
You think so? Do you think so, really?
Oh, this is hands down the best action sequence. No doubt.
Well, that's arguable. But let me ask you this, though. You think it goes downhill from the...
Yeah, I got to say, like...
They're still great. They're all great.
Basically, it goes downhill pre-Face Off. I don't think so.
Yeah, no. It's a tough sell, but he tried it. He tried it.
It is a fucking excellent scene, and you know what? I guess he is making a point. If it is the best action sequence, then I guess in a way it does go downhill after this.
Let's make his case.
It's not a steep decline, but it's for action sequences. I mean, you're the first 20 minutes, and it looks like the finale of a movie. You've got a car chase,
epic
which
finale,
leads immediately to a helicopter chase, which leads immediately to a shootout, which leads to someone getting the earshot off, which leads to a Mexican standoff, and some superb overacting. But I defy you. Tell me another time in this movie where John Travolta as Sean Archer does anything cool.
That's true.
Wait, say that again.
I mean,
there's a little twist there at the end. Oh, sorry. The normal Sean Archer. The normal Sean Archer.
Yeah, when we see normal Sean Archer.
Yeah, I was like trying. It's such a complicated thing when you're talking about one character playing another character in a.
You know, they chose not to ever give Sean Archer another moment where he could be a hero in his own form. And the only other option they gave him was to see his own son die in front of him uselessly.
Which is why the writing also makes this the best action sequence in the entire film.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think the flip side to what you were saying about, you know, it's the only time where John Travolta gets to be like awesome as Sean Archer. It's also really the only time where Nicolas Cage gets to let loose as Castor Troy. You know
That's
what I
true,
mean?
but he lets loose throughout.
At the very
entire
beginning with
film.
like the, you know, like the ass cupping and like the O face and
that's
stuff.
true.
All right. Anything else you want to add about that opening sequence? I don't know. Like Tyler, you made your case. I don't know if it's a strong one.
Strong case. It
I don't
covers.
know.
It's
Well,
got everything
let's
you would
talk
want
about
in
it
a
because it
finale
starts-
of an action sequence, and it's in the first 20 minutes.
You're just batting
Sets the
1,000.
tempo.
I would like to mention in Tyler's action sequence. Basically, it goes from an airplane into a hangar by virtue of the airplane going into the hangar.
Literally.
There is so much coverage, okay, of this airplane going into the hangar. It really makes me think that they made a scale airplane
No, it makes you think they
and
did
busted
it
it in and just
it
shot for
wasn't.
broke.
You know what it was? It was all that coverage because they did it for real once. Like, we got one time at this, folks. Let's
Like a
cover our
defunct,
asses.
a defunct airplane
Yeah, and they all
at
the
on a
and they had
stage.
all the pyrotechnics and everything was going to go off at one moment because there's
Yeah.
a lot of pyrotechnics in that shot. In terms of budget, this might have been the most expensive sequence in the film.
Usually, like a big action set piece will either be a car chase or a helicopter chase or a shootout or
all
some
of it.
kind of standoff.
All
and
of
this
the
is all of
above.
it back to back to back combined.
Ultimately, what Tyler just said is probably his strongest case.
You forget that I love this movie with all of my heart. I
Oh, I don't forget that.
had to give up my son because of this movie because the court decided that it was not appropriate for a man
This
to watch
movie-
Face Off
You
for
having
52 weeks.
you having to make that very personal decision had so much more to do than just this podcast.
It's made me a man.
You
It's
and
made me a
Tyler
man.
both know that.
It's made me a man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just keep those child support payments coming. Just
There's no child support. There's no money. There's no money. There's no child support. There's no wife. There's no mother. Mother's gone. All right, moving on.
Sean, what would
We're
you
taking all this part
say?
out.
Why don't you go over like a lesser action sequence in the movie?
I don't know if I would say it's lesser. All right. First of all, so my sequence is the hideout sequence.
Can I make a point to that action sequence, Sean?
Yeah.
And that action sequence is a little different than the first action sequence and the last
Tongue twister.
action sequence. And I'll tell you why. The first action sequence is actually quite grim because you have the death of a woman, an FBI agent, rather
Yeah.
gruesomely out of the airplane. That sets the tone, I think. There's gun violence and then there's like close up.
Execution. Okay.
Well, no, it's just, that is that there are different kind of themes in each set piece.
My set piece that I'm talking about here is more about like the character-driven
No,
action
it's
sequence.
hilarious, man. It's hilarious. There's a lot of story going on in that.
There's a lot of like the most story going on in any action sequence is happening right here in this hideout action sequence. They put a kid in danger to the point where Todd McCarthy freaks out in his fucking review over the film that they put this kid in danger, and then they had the balls to set it to Over the Rainbow.
And
John Woo
Sean
chooses to do.
Archer Sean Archer, but really Castor Troy actually aims for his own son in that.
Yeah,
scene.
but he doesn't
It's like, what
really
is
know
all
that.
about?
doesn't
He
know.
knows it's a kid.
Addicted
He
to
knows
killing
it's a kid.
babies.
Yeah, but I just really think that this is the moment where like John was just like, "Fuck it, let's go for it." He puts that entire Over the
There's a
Rainbow
lot of
song in
story.
there.
Yeah, well,
that's a
that's
lot
where-
of money. Like as much as like all that pyrotechnics and the airplane running into that hangar is a lot of money. Guess how much money Over the Rainbow probably is in terms of budget? It's
How
a lot
much?
of fucking money.
Tell
No,
us.
But you're
Uh,
saying the best part about the action sequence is that they paid a lot of money for the music. I don't
I'm
know if
saying
that's
that
the best
I'm saying that
argument.
song. Hey, what?
They
do you
made this
think of-
movie for $1 million. The rest
let
went
me
to
make
that
this
song.
argument. Like when you think of Face Off, do you think of like the plane running into the hangar and blowing up, or do you think of that kid getting shot at with Over the Rainbow playing in your head? You think of the
I
latter.
think of the plane going into the hangar.
No, you don't. You think of the latter.
I'll be
That's
honest, I
bullshit.
don't think of either of those scenes.
Can I mention one thing as well that links your action sequence, Sean, with Tyler's, and that is this, and that is the gunplay is so robust the books that are books that are exploding.
There's so many people jumping through the air, like doing that tried and true John Woo, like shooting like in slow motion, like side jump, gunshot.
Yeah.
Like legitimately everyone in this sequence is doing that at some
always
point.
jumping forward with both hands.
It's like a tried and true John Woo scene. All right, we got one last scene to talk about.
But we talked about that. But I was watching it again today, and I think I figured out the biggest flaw of the entire movie. Do you know what it is? It's the ending. There is no reason based on the concept of the film and the reason that they're in the situation that they're in. It's because no one knows that Castor Troy is Castor Troy. And so when everyone at the very end of the final battle sequence, of the boat battle sequence, start to like saying if Sean Urcher is okay, it's like there is no reason for them to say that, because at that point they should be killing him. They should have killed him. They should have been the shot from Night of the Living Dead where it's just from far away.
Yes.
Boom, dead.
You're right. That is a cop-out ending.
Yeah, well, what happens is it's basically cut into two parts, both on land and sea. So it's a surf and turf action sequence. And that begins with the action sequence in
the Mexican
church.
standoff in the church is pretty awesome. I gotta say,
Robert
it is a
Rodriguez.
pretty fun scene. Well, and Tarantino.
Or am I talking about Alfred Hitchcock?
And even
John
Woo.
Or Robert Rodriguez?
John Woo. Yeah, there is some heavy Birds vibes in that church going on. But.
Well, and you know what's funny is I noticed is they had all the doves right in the church, and but then they wanted to have more doves at the very end, but they probably didn't have enough money or enough well-trained doves, and so you have a lot of pigeons in there, like in the background. So it's like whereas you have like in the Planet of the Apes, you have all the good masks in the front, and then in the background you have like all the shitty masks. Yeah. It's like you have in the foreground all the like the pigeons, or rather the doves, and then in the background.
Which is the best action sequence, guys? Because we've made our cases. Chris maybe a little less so, but I mean between.
I tried.
The hideout sequence and the opening action.
Well, no, so the opening sequence sets the tone, and I would argue that the subsequent action sequences are basically just reconfigurations of that original formula in the original thing, and it's so epic. I mean, so it is the best. It's probably not my favorite, but the first action sequence, I think, not only is the best in the movie, but also probably stands up in the top 10 of all time.
Well, I guess I've got nothing else to say then. If Chris has decided that's the best action sequence, I assume Tyler's voting for himself. So.
Obviously, this is the best action sequence.
You guys are both wrong. You're completely fucking wrong.
Other than the prison sequence, right?
Like, John's like so emotional.
You agree prison sequence number one.
The prison. Oh, fuck.
Are you talking about the sequence where Nicolas Cage jumped off of that floating prison?
Because it's obviously the best action sequence in the movie.
Yeah. What's the argument then? Can I just ask our listeners one thing? If audience members, you can think of the name Nicolas Cage gives the bomb. It's only for about 1 second in the movie. They never mention it again. If you can think of what it is, we will send you a personal nude photograph of Sean.
Oh my God.
Alex.
What? Alex? Oh, someone else we've just
Somebody else. It's a Sean Alexander
famous porn star.
Whoever it is, it's a crime by the sounds of it, but okay.